Hey, it's Trick or Trauma, and today we're going to have a little bit of a discussion. I'm going to title this video, One Can Kill You and One Can Save You, and that's just the truth. This isn't clickbait. Alright, so one aspect of my life I'm very proud of is the fact that I've been a tactical medic on a SWAT team for the last 12 years, and in my time as a tactical medic I've been able to take a lot of training, and I've seen a lot of things, and you know, there are some things out there that are bulletproof, and then there are some things out there that are bullshit, and it just is what it is. And so years ago, the very first evolution of the TCCC course that I ever took, there was a memo in the literature for that course from the Surgeon General of the United States, and he kind of referenced the fact that the market on tourniquets had been flooded with counterfeit tourniquets. And so I was very interested in that. You know, again, tourniquet's something that at the very point you need it, not the time to start figuring out that you have a counterfeit tourniquet. All right, so probably the most counterfeited tourniquet out there is the cat tourniquet. All right, so I wanted to show you the difference that I found between a cat tourniquet and a counterfeit cat tourniquet, and hopefully, you know, guys, if you got a tourniquet in your range bag, if you're a member of a tactical team and you have a tourniquet, if you have a tourniquet because you're very well prepared and you just have a home first aid kit and you wanted a tourniquet in that, you know, go back, take a look at your tourniquet, and make sure that you know you're noticing these subtle little differences. Right? At first blanch look at these tourniquets, they look very, very similar. All right, but we're going to talk a little bit about some of the differences, and I can tell you for a fact that one of these was purchased directly from North America Rescue, and the other one was purchased directly online from China. Okay, so I know one is a counterfeit and I know one is reputable. All right, so the guys at North America Rescue, they do a great job. There are several of their products that I really stand behind. There's several of their products that I've had in my own kit for years, and I really think that they do a quality job of providing some medical equipment out here for not just the first responder realm, but the tactical realm, the military realm. If you're Ellie and you're looking for a reputable place to buy some medical equipment for your first aid bag, your IFAC, whatever it is, you know, that is a vendor who I would say give them a good look, because they do put out some quality equipment. So this is actually a counterfeit tourniquet. All right, sold online as an airsoft tourniquet. All right, this is actually a legitimate cat tourniquet purchased through North American Rescue. Right, don't let the color at the top fool you. The fact that one's gray and one's white, and you know, if you go back to the other side of them, both of them have rev tabs on them. You know, that's not going to give you the difference. All right, one of the differences that's a stark contrast is one of these specifically says on the tourniquet that it's a cat tourniquet and gives you all the information about it. The other one does not. All right, the counterfeit tourniquet does not in any way, shape, or form have that cat label. Probably the other most significant difference is, look at the Windlass. This is the legitimate cat tourniquet. This is the airsoft fake tourniquet. All right, the problem with this tourniquet is, and you may say, well, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. The problem with this tourniquet is where it's gonna fail, and when this Windlass is gonna fail, is at that point in time when you start to wrench this tourniquet down on your extremity to create enough pressure underneath the tourniquet to stop the flow of bleeding, is when this thing is going to fail on you. Okay, so if you'll notice the difference in the bulk between the legitimate tourniquet and the counterfeit tourniquet, it is substantial, the amount of material that's behind this cat tourniquet in relation to the counterfeit tourniquet. And again, guys, this is significant enough of a problem that in the tactical casualty care course, the own instructional material for that, the Surgeon General felt that it was important enough, or National NAEMT, National Association of Medical Emergency Medical Technicians, felt it was important enough to include and reference the document from the Surgeon General saying, hey guys, we have a marketplace that's potentially flooded with counterfeit tourniquets. All right, and you know, the saddest part about this is it's gonna fail at the very point that you need it to work the most. Okay, so guys, check your bags. Make sure if you have any questions about whether or not the tourniquet you have is a legitimate cat tourniquet, you know, I'm telling you, go to North American Rescue. Just go directly to their website. They're great guys. I've met a bunch of them. Go to North American Rescue and just order a tourniquet directly from them. If you throw this away and have to invest in this, you're spending 20 some odd dollars to get the legitimate deal, but you're spending 20 some odd dollars to make sure at the very moment that it's supposed to do its job, it's going to do its job. Now, this is a great tourniquet, okay? It's not my favorite tourniquet. It's not the tourniquet that I carry in my rig. It is a great tourniquet, and there's an awful lot of people who do carry this, okay? But, you know, I felt like this was important enough to come out here and say, hey, listen, check this tourniquet out. Make sure that you've got the right one. Make sure you're not running under the misimpression that you've got a base covered when you're actually dealing with something that's going to fail on you when you need it most. Make sure you're running a legitimate cat tourniquet, okay? And if you have one of the initial generations of cats and it's been sitting out here and you can see on your Windlass that it looks like that plastic, if it looks like your kids' play toys that have been sitting out in the sun for, you know, the last 3 years, and this thing's starting to bleach out and the material, and just replace it. Again, guys, $30 if you include shipping, to make sure that you have a piece of equipment that's going to be there at the absolute second that you need it most. Because the last thing you want, take a round, start winching down on this thing and hear the snap of this windlass coming off. All right, that's not gonna do you any good. So again, check your bag. Make sure you've got a legitimate cat tourniquet in there. Make sure that you're running with the right equipment in your bag. And if you've got one of these counterfeits, I keep this, and I mean I'm so severe about this. I keep this in a drawer away from every other piece of medical equipment that I carry. And the only reason I keep it is when we get guys who invest in tourniquets, and I see that maybe perhaps it doesn't meet up to all the standards of the cat tourniquet, I bring this out and I say, let me tell you something, this is gonna get you killed. And it will. It'll get you killed, I promise you. I've never had to tighten down on this thing to the point where I think it'll snap, but I'm telling you guys, running with counterfeit equipment will get you killed. Matter of fact, if you go reference on the internet, you can find several articles on there where it speaks about the fact that, and again, I'm not saying it's unscrupulous businessmen. You may have legitimate businessmen who believe they're providing a quality product, who got this from a distributor and have sold it as a legitimate tourniquet. But there are several agencies that have bought into these tourniquets only to have them fail at the moment when it counts. And you can go online and just Google counterfeit cat tourniquets, and it'll bring up the articles and you can read them for yourself. But check and make sure that you're running the right equipment and that it's legitimate equipment. And never, this is that one area, never skimp on buying legitimate medical equipment, because guys, that medical equipment is only there for you needing it when stuff has gone terribly wrong. All right, so that's where you spend money. Spend money in training, spend money in medical. Save your money when it comes to the high speed, low drag stuff. And that's what I gotta say about that. So, Trigger Trauma, if you guys have any questions about this, hit me up in the comments. I generally try to check my comments one time a day. And try my best to get back to everybody and reply to them the best I can. But, yep, make sure you got a legitimate tourniquet in your kit. All right? Trigger Trauma, you guys have a great day.